Namaste, my dear friends. This is Mohammed Rafi, faculty on indirect taxes for the past 20 years. You are watching Rafi Sir IDT Guru YouTube channel. Dear friends, now I am going to bring to your notice solutions for our CA Inter May 2025 examination taxation paper number 3 in that GST, goods and services tax. First and foremost, now I am going to take up case scenario MCQs which has been appeared in the exam of CA Inter, which now answering here one by one. Here, case scenario 3, when you refer this under the GST part, Sandeep, a registered person from Maharashtra, engaging, providing training services, which is taxable supply. Sandeep is supplier, provided these training services. He conducted training camps at different cities in Uttar Pradesh for general public and received 3,45,000. Meaning what? If the supply of training services to general public means uninsured persons, in that case, place of supply where the performance is actually performed. So Uttar Pradesh, 3,45,000 is nothing but interstate supply, which is taxable. Further, he also hired by Arihant Pharma Limited, which is registered person in Goa, to provide training to its employees. As a result, Sandeep also provided to Goa client, which is registered person, 2,25,000. Also, interstate supply where the place of supply goes to the location of the recipient, if the recipient registered person. Further, so far we referred 5,70,000 as our taxable outward supply interstate level. Training was given 20 employees, Mumbai, Maharashtra. Sandeep also gave his residential property in Mumbai to Arihant Limited for the stay of employees who joined training. Rupees 10,000 per person was additionally charged by Sandeep for period of 30 days. That means residential dwelling is being an immovable property given on residential dwelling rental basis to a registered person. As we understood in regular class, it is under RCM. Recipient being a registered person liable to pay GST, not by Sandeep. Further, Sandeep hired a bus from Ravi, which is rupees 50,000. Seating capacity is 20, that means more than 13. That means this particular 50 rupees for 30 days, what they have taken inward supply of renting of a bus, inward supply, qualify for input tax credit as the inward supply in the hands of Sandeep. So, of rupees 50,000, GST rate they given here 18%. In that case, 18% GST, how much comes here? 18% GST on rupees 50,000, 18% is equal to 9,000. 9,000 is qualified for input tax credit in the hands of Sandeep. Thereafter, Sandeep also received security services from Protect You Security Limited, rupees 35,000. Then is it reverse charge or FCM? Now, is a reverse charge only when in the given regular study I referred security services where supplier of service any person other than body corporate as a supplier provide the recipient who is a registered person located in the tax boundary, then only RCM. In the given example, my dear friend, if you refer here, supplier is a body corporate, Protect You Security Limited is a body corporate, therefore FCM. But it is qualified for ITC as inward supply in the hands of Sandeep. Therefore, on rupees 35,000, again 18% GST is equal to how much comes here? On rupees 35,000, GST 18% is 6,300. So, eligible input tax credit for Mr. this particular Sandeep is 15,300 rupees is total ITC. Now, his outward supply how much? 5,70,000. Now, GST liable to pay. If it is liable to pay GST 18%, interstate supply on which 18% GST if you apply on this value, namely on 5,70,000 into 18% of IGST is liable to pay GST output tax. Output tax 1,02,600. He has ITC 15,300. This 15,300. Now in that case, my dear sir, now visible to this is visible all of you clearly. Very good. So in that case, here 1,02,600 minus ITC 15,300, you will get net liability 15,300. If you reduce 87,300 liable to pay by electronic cash ledger. This is the requirement. Let's see what they asked in the examination. If you refer here, point number 9, amount interstate outward supply on which Sandeep liable to pay tax. Here 5,70,000 is the right answer. Is the answer. Namely B is the answer. Question number 10. Amount on which Sandeep required to pay under RCM. Nothing is liable to pay by under RCM by Sandeep. Therefore, the right answer here is A. A is the answer. Further, question number 11. Total tax payable in cash, including RCM, by Sandeep is how much? We got here how much? 87,300. If you refer that here, 7,300. So right answer here is D. So the right answer here is D is the right answer. As simple as that, my dear friends. We have referred all these points in our regular class. Further, coming to case scenario 4, MCQs. Raj Enterprises, a partnership firm registered under the GST, is engaged in the sale of both taxable as well as exempt supply. Very good. Located in Bhubaneswar, Odisha. On 20th March 2024, he intends to he entered into a contract for providing painting services to one of its client office. The value is 2 lakh is estimate value and the due date to complete 20th April 2024. However, due to some dispute, the client has been breached the contract. Resultantly, the contract has been broken and service got suspended. So by the time of 31st of March 2024, he provided 60% of the work out of 2 lakhs. Out of 2 lakh 60%, 1,20,000 value of supply completed up to 31st March 2024. Very good. Raj Enterprise received a new order from Mathur of Kerala on 25th April 2024 for supply of constituting both taxable as well as exempt supply. That means 55,000 including 10,000 is the exempt supply. So taxable supply here is 45,000. The value of exempt supply is separately mentioned in the invoice. Very good. Then bifurcate the exempt supply. And both the goods are independent to each other. Very good. So not a compound supply. Very good. Applicable rate of GST 12%. He issued a single invoice in respect of the both taxable and exempt supply. Very good. So rate of GST 12% on taxable goods on which 12% GST, on 45,000 12% GST because taxable goods. So 5,400 total value, invoice price 50,400, taxable price, and exempt supply 10,000. Very good. Further, the accountant of the firm advised the firm that the requirement of e-way bill is based on the requirement of the consignment value goods supplied. The firm had received a refund of rupees 50,000 which was sanctioned by the department. Erroneously, the firm wrong back received the refund claim which is not eligible. How much rupees? 50,000. There in the electronic cash ledger, the amount is available. Very good. An interest of rupees 1,100 was also payable by the firm owing the late payment of GST of the previous tax period. Very good. The firm output tax liability 2,50,000. Output tax how much? 2,50,000 is output tax liable to pay. Very good. Thereafter, the above mentioned the opening balance of lying electronic credit ledger 2,60,000. So ITC is ITC opening balance 2 lakh 60. So still I have to pay nothing, but excess credit can be carried forward. How much? Rupees 10,000. Very good. And the opening balance electronic cash ledger, how much is 70,000? Out of rupees 70,000 of electronic cash ledger, the 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 rupees 50,000 is there as a erroneous refund. Therefore, the 50,000 should be paid back to department. Thereafter, balance how much is the electronic cash ledger? 20,000. Now I have to pay 1,100 is the interest that cannot be adjusted against available electronic credit ledger. Therefore, it should be adjusted against available cash ledger. Therefore, I can utilize cash ledger to pay my interest of 1100. The balance here comes into picture 20,000 minus 1,100. The balance 18,900 is available electronic cash ledger, e-ledger. Is clear? From this, what the requirement is asking? Due date of issuance of invoice and the value of such invoice issued for works contract is what? Now here due date of issuance of invoice and the value of such invoice issued for the works contract. Works contract was suspended, no, in between. When suspended here? 31st March 2024. So invoice should be issued on or before 31st March 2024 for value of 60% completion, namely 1,20,000. So the right answer is 31st March 2024, where 1,20,000. The right answer is this one. C is the right answer in the given question number 12. Therefore, here is the answer. C is the answer. Further, question number 13. Consignment value of the goods supplied to Kerala to Mathur in order to determine the applicability of the issue of e-way bill, applicable taxable supply. We got no 45,000 plus GST 12%, GST inclusive. When you talk about value of rupees 50,000 interstate supply of goods, the value should be inclusive of the GST only. You refer for the identifying the eligibility of issue of e-way bill. E-way bill considered the interstate supply, the value of the goods per consignment per invoice basis exceed rupees 50,000. That includes the GST. Now we got here that value is how much here we got here almost all here we got no 50,400, more than rupees 50,000. So that value for the e-way bill purpose is what? Means 50,400. The right answer here is D. Further, my dear friends, remaining balance electronic credit ledger and electronic cash ledger. We got no just now electronic credit ledger excess rupees 10,000, electronic cash ledger is rupees 18,900. So here 10,000, this one is the right answer. This one is the right answer. Answer here is A. Got the clarity, my dear friends? Coming to question number 15, which is MCQ. Mr. Arjun, a registered person, is delegatory agent of Uday Limited and AST Limited. Arjun reported following transactions for the month of October 2024. Sale of the goods to Uday Limited, DSA, capacity for rupees 4,50,000, invoice issued in the name of Uday Limited. That means he is not a agent covering under schedule 1, point number 3, not agent. Sale of the goods of AST Limited in DCA capacity for 2,20,000. Invoice are issued by Arjun in his own capacity. Then it is covered under the supply of goods, covered under the schedule 1, point number 3, supply of goods. In that case, for 2,20,000. Here is a supply of service only. Supply of service. That means to say that in the given case 4,50,000 on which GST not liable to be Arjun. Further, to both the principal, he has given a guarantee for the realization of the payment from the customers and fulfill it the extended short-term transaction based on the loan to the customers and charge interest. So whenever Uday sells the goods on his own account, the amount has been loan given by our Arjun 4,50,000 and getting the interest of rupees 45,000. This loan amount of 4,50,000 given is exempted supply. Therefore, this accretion thereon also be exempt. Name interest earned by the urchin is exempt. Main supply exempt. Therefore, interest also exempt. Coming to second category, where on behalf of AST, the urchin sold the goods and issued his own invoice. That means he supplied the goods 2,20,000 is a taxable supply, on which interest means what? He given the loan, the amount of money to pay that in time to supplier. As a result, he getting the interest from the buyers. That means urchin given the loan to the buyers to make the payment to supplier. In that case, urchin is a supplier. In time make arrangement to make the payment to his principal by the buyer. In that case, the main supply made by urchin is a taxable supply of goods, and the interest earned thereon is rupees 20,000 is also be taxable. Here 2,20,000 plus 20,000, totally 2,42,000 is a taxable supply in the hands of urchin, and this rupees 45,000 is exempted supply in the hands of urchin. In that case, where is matching here? 2,42,000 is a taxable supply. Thereafter, 45,000 is exempt supply. The right answer here is answer C in the given question number 15. Further referring to my dear friends, MCQ, last question it is. Aggregate turnover of Techno India Private Limited, a registered person, is rupees 800 crore. Means more than 5 crores. Which of the following statement is correct in respect of QR code? There are so many items are given. Here, the right appropriate answer is B. QR code is required for invoice issued for B2B supply, export supply, and supply to government, but QR code not required for B2C supply. Why? B2C supply were not required to be uploaded in the invoice portal, e-invoice portal, IRN, namely invoice reference number not required for B2C transactions. E-invoice not required to issue. Therefore, QR code not required to be mentioned. Only when QR code required in the B2C is means when the high value of supply is taken place for making the payment through digital mode by the buyer, seller making a facility by providing dynamic QR, namely dynamic QR code. In case of B2C, higher value of supply taken place, facilitating the buyer to make the payment through digital mode. Otherwise, B2C transaction, e-invoice not required to issue, e-invoice not required to be upload IRN number. As a result, QR code also not required. The right answer here is B. Is the right answer. Further, my dear friends, with this MCQs fully, whatever given for almost 15 marks they given, 15 marks compulsory question we have been answered.